No. Right, okay. And Groovy? 1 or 2? Okay, so let's set the scene. Thank you. So all the details are there. These slides, I think they'll go up one or another.
Going up on YouTube, and they will go up.
And they'll also go
YouTube
on my website, and I'll put them on slideshow.
Fantastic.
So the email is easy. If you need to send an email, echoing, that's it, russel@winder.org.uk. So I'm a complete organisation. Well, it's nearly business. Oh, just 1 second. Did anyone ever contemplate buying this book in 2014? It's 2 standards of C++ ago. Yeah, Java, but not Java 1.5. Python, if you like Python. And the question mark is, yes, I am saying.
Are you allowed to say what it's about?
It's Python.
Right.
Raw Python. Okay, so the starting point, just to give some context to why Groovy and why GroovyFX in particular. So, we have what, 1994, Oak was failing as a programming language, not because it was a failure, it was a dramatic success. It invented tablet computing. So long before iPads and stuff came along, Project Green, the computers just weren't fast enough. It was ahead of its time by a long way, sadly. And so what you do is you rebadge it, and you call it Java, and you say it's web. And so we end up with Java, and you going to be a guide through today. And in terms of general programming, network aware, etc., it was disastrous because it verified threads and not shared them multi-threading. But that's a completely different route. We can go into it some other time. What it did bring though was the Abstract Window Toolkit, AWT, which was an attempt to move away from the particular platform and basically get away from Windows and scenarios and other such. We ended up with these Applet things. In 1995, they were interesting. Everyone was writing them. In 2013, everyone was panicking because of it. How many people have got OS X machines? Not very many. How many people of those panicked and withdrew Java from their OS X machine because someone worried about the Applet plugin? No, that was the correct answer. Don't worry about it. Just remove the plugin if you're worried. Not the whole of Java. Java itself, the plugin. Applets were our plugin. So that's the history of these things. AWT, Abstract Window Toolkit. The problem with the Abstract Window Toolkit was that it was deemed heavyweight, big, chunky widgets trying to write to the screen. It was really connecting to the operating system, which is underneath. Interestingly, that's a technique that WX still uses and still is very successful. You do it with WX Python and WX widgets in C++. It's really a very thin layer that maps in an abstract way down to the underlying operating system widgets. In Java and AWT at the time, it was deemed not a good move, too heavyweight, too resource intensive. And so we ended up with Swim, which attempted to create a lightweight layer over AWT, and people were happy, and things got written. Except, of course, Eclipse decided that Swim was a bad idea, and so they created SWT, and get a different layer, and that's what Eclipse still uses today. But Swim is a bit looking old. these days, in the same way that TK widgets. Anyone remember TK widgets? No? Okay. So we won't make those jokes. But sadly, Java lost on the client side. And all of a sudden, nobody wanted to do Apple, apart from the ones that are causing trouble in the last couple of months. Everyone said, oh, the client is all about Flex and Silverlight and this sort of technology to go into the client, not to mention JavaScript. So going back as
Dare I say HTML5?
You dare say HTML5, but I'm not going to answer. HTML5 is liable to be encumbered with all this copyright protection stuff if we're not careful. The community are likely to feed in the technology for not allowing us to watch stuff. Watch the committees and object and stuff. But for us, our talk of Java, it's effective and interactive on the client for Java, but of course huge server-side presence. In the web, you've got Java and you've got ASP.NET. And last statistics I saw, I have no idea how true or false they are, was about 30% ASP.NET and about 65% Java out there. I don't have actual statistics, these are just things I see as an analyst wandering around to get those sort of numbers. What it means is that Java has a huge presence on the servers in the web, and most of that is either Java EE or Swing Highway. So it's a massive presence. If I say interregnum, an interregnum on the client, not an interregnum for Java. As we noted earlier, the interregnum is caused by Flex and Silverlight. And Silverlight now already dead, and Flex on the critical list, because HTML5 is the new trendy fashion. Except that lessons have been learned from Swing, AWT, and the guys went away, thought deeply, and we have Duke, not just sipping coffee, we'll see it's coffee, not tea, but actually doing some reading and learning about what's out there and what is successful. And some of the things that they decided was that we're going to have a new thing. We're not going to refresh the screen. We'll do something new. Okay, so this one. Sadly, the aspect ratio here is perfect. And the aspect ratio here is a bit, yeah. So we'll have to forgive those minor problems. But we get sort of rockstar announcements of JavaFX, the new competitor for everything on the client side. And this is going to sweep away these two beasties, but of course they've already gone, so that's not too bad. So what's this JavaFX doing for us? Well, here's an example of some JavaFX. Is that visible for the guys at the back? Yeah? Okay. So, the usual sorts of things that you tend to see in Java-style programs, imports, bringing stuff in, and then something that looks completely and totally unlike Java. Technically, it's a language called F3, which is a language derived from form follows function. It's the original name of it. It looks suspiciously JSON-like. Whether JSON came first or after, I think we really have to see research. But lots of curly brackets, lots of colons, a complete absence of quotes on the left-hand side, which is what we think was properly JSON. So what is this? It's a declarative statement of a composition of widgets. So down at the bottom here, we've got a text widget, which has got a font widget. And that content is going to be associated with some text. That font widget, text widget, embedded in a scene widget. And overall, we have a stage. So the stage is the place where activity is going to happen. That's, if you like, the outside box, the frame, the window, other people's departments. We've got a scene, which is where the real action is going to happen. So one scene embedded within one stage. And that scene takes a single scene graph. So you could talk about it as a widget tree. But in the new language, it's called a scene graph. So the text here is going to be the root of the scene graph. It contains just the font. It's a very simple hello world, it's a simple activity. You would like it to be really, very simple. Now sadly, with the kit I have today, I can't run that because it's a JavaFX 1. I didn't have time over the last couple of days to sort of downgrade a virtual machine on here to actually run that stuff. Wikipedia tells us that this is JavaFX and it's a perfectly valid program, and as we know, Wikipedia is all wrong. It looks bear this one in mind. I'm going to we'll come back to this one a few times. That's JavaFX 1, JavaFX script, a declarative language. No imperative features at all. It's just a So what's this context for this? It's rich statement of a collection of items. There's client side, and it's intended to work over Java ME as well as Java T. I think Java ME is now officially deceased. They keep it going somewhat. What was that? Micro edition.
Oh, okay.
How many people have got BlackBerry before BlackBerry 10? No, 2. Those are programs in Java ME. They were the last Java ME named BlackBerry. So, yeah, think BlackBerry. Yeah. Nokia, they gave up when they decided to go Q2. And I think MBS did. So they gave up any fairly quickly. Sony Ericsson gave it up. E900, it was the last time Java. It's still there, it's still usable, but its I/O model is just fundamentally discontinuous with Java. So actually these days the phones have probably got more power than most computers had back then, usual sort of table time, etc. And so there is actually a Java SE embedded. And if you're going to run on a tablet or something like that, it would be Java SE these days. So that you've got absolute continuity between your workstations and your clients and your. Haven't got any material on Java SE embedded for this session, but it's out there, you can have a play with it. Oracle are looking to make a program. So this is the scenario, if you like, and these were the competitors. I've made some comments about all of those. So I think we've probably played that bit. But sadly, JavaFX never really caught on in that stage at the right time. Because I think Flex and the hype around HTML5 was just starting. Flex was still in its heyday. HTML5 was really just coming along. So JavaFX was ignored by the population. Sad really, because the Flex script really is quite nice. I like it. Let's go back and have a look at it. it's a nicely declarative statement. Simple, no XML. XML really is a language for two consenting computers. I don't think humans should have to write XML. This simpler, it's more straightforward. But despite JavaFX script, it really didn't catch on. So it's back to the drawing board, really. So Duke was thinking cap on, still thinking copy, read some more books, and thinks, there's some actually successful systems out there. So, well, GTK, sort of. If you do anyone know GTK type things, no, it's very few, it's on niche market. But it produces Glade. Why is it producing Glade? Because Glade is a mechanism for putting together widget trees. And those widget trees, then press the button, and out comes an XML specification of that widget tree. You don't write it, a tool writes it, and you don't even have to look at it, because you can then load that XML up in your Java program, and oh, yeah. All my examples are actually in Python, so we're doing that sort of stuff. If people are interested, we can have a look at that, because it would be the same output later. That's the joy of the XML. It is a way of communicating from a tool to compose widgets to the code that then executes them and builds the widgets and creates the actions to happen. So successful was Glade in the GTK community that when the WX folk were looking for something similar to avoid lots and lots of C++ coding, they took the Glade code and pulled out all the GTK widgets and put in all the WX widgets. That's basically the same framework as Glade, and it's very successful. You compose your Windows widget trees, press the button, and it gets them out. Over here, sort of was intended to be a bit of a life, and sort of falling a bit by the wayside, not really bought by Microsoft. That's the way it is.
No, I thought it was just something they sold.
Yeah, I think probably this is being recorded. This is probably not the time to be based on that.
It's answered. I want it.
The comment itself is displayed. But over here we have Qt. Soon Qt5, but for the moment Qt4. What have they got? They've got, well actually they have a thing called Qt Creator, which is a complete IDE for doing C++ programming. But I'm not sure I know anybody who's brave enough to do UI programming in C++. C++ is for computation-intensive codes and things like that. And there are other better languages as well. Python is one of them. So for Qt Creator, this is the list. But Qt Creator has Qt Designer as an input part, which can be used separately. And that's yet another user interface for composing widgets. Press the button, and out comes the XML. You can then load up the XML, and you haven't got to program your way around with widgets. So this is the paradigm of thinking. You have tools for building these widget pieces, user interfaces, and connecting them to the code, and then you press the button, there comes the XML, when you run it, you load up the XML, and actually, the Qt folks, when they were thinking that they were going to be the operating system for future smartphones, also came up with Qt Quick, and a thing called QML. I suppose you might think this is the Qt modeling language or something like that. It's some acronym involved with Qt language. And what it is basically a use of JSON-like syntax to produce specifications and user interfaces. Now, where do we go back? I go back up here. Wasn't that what JavaFX script was intended to do? So, although JavaFX didn't catch on, and the vast majority of UIs appear to be going the tool and XML route through they were also going, let's have a declarative language or specifying the widget sets, and then you can just execute and avoid the whole XML thing. Because some of these tools are actually quite difficult to use. You don't understand how a widget sets compose. I'll do demo a little bit of that in a few moments. But actually the thinking. Remember the thinking? What's the heavyweight thinking? What's the copy? Probably decaf to avoid crashing systems. Out comes a new version of JavaFX called JavaFX 2. That's interesting numbering. Obviously not an interesting numbering. But what we'll now say is that from this time onwards, there's been a relabel. So whenever anybody mentions JavaFX, you should think JavaFX 2. And if they mention JavaFX 2, they probably should mention JavaFX instead, to try and get rid of the fact that JavaFX 1 ever existed. Sadly, not quite right. But JavaFX 2 is the new thing. And instead of having a specific tool chain and language associated with it, it is literally just a Java API. So the push was to say, let's create an API, let's put it out there, a bit like Swing, and then see what the community does with it. See what happens. See what gets traction in the market. And the intention is actually eventually to replace Swing. It's not doable now. There are things that are in Swing that are not yet in JavaFX, but they will come. Oracle is putting a lot of resource into JavaFX. Witness Steve Chin wandering around the world, pushing JavaFX wherever he can. But more on that in a moment. So JavaFX 2 is an API. But the meme is there must be a tool. If you don't have a layout tool, how can people lay out widgets? And so they've also brought along Scene. Scene is there particularly to construct scene graphs for JavaFX to execute. And the way of storing them is, yes, you guessed it, XML. So there is an XML language designed for taking the results from the scene builder and enabling them to connecting through the API to build the user interfaces. You think, oh, a new version of JavaFX.
Is it too late for me to ask what X might stand for?
It's FX as in the cinema industry. Effects. So FX. So literally it's just that.
And can I ask the other idiom level question, which is what's going to interpret the XML?
What happens is that the XML is ready. You create the doc, but you're not creating the document as an XML document. What you do is you create the widget tree instead.
What piece of software is doing that?
And it's a builder inside the API.
Okay. It's not a separate web-based.
No. You literally are loaded the XML file, which goes through a file zone, which then builds the widget tree instead of an XML document. So, code. We like code. We do like code, don't we? Lots of important mess. But meaningful. It is hello world. We will run it in a minute. So just a quick tour around it. We get in the stage. So we are an application, so we get given a stage. So it's like threads. You are an event handler, an event. So when you start, you launch an application, and one of the events is start. So your code starts, when you exit out of here, you turn.
Is your question, is it stage as in all the world is a stage, as opposed to stage as in stage one, stage two,
Yes,
stage
very
three?
much all the world is stage, yes.
Yeah.
I think you're getting some stuff like that into Shakespeare and JavaFX. Good idea. I'm going to go. So setting the title of the stage is like setting the name of the window, because it's going to map the stage onto a frame, and so the title of the frame is effectively the title of the stage. And we need a root node to put into the scene, to put into the stage. So a group is just one thing, there are others. But the group is going to be our root node in the scene graph. And we're just going to put a text node into that group, but only after we've done obscure things, like give it a font and give it the state, the scenes in colour. This is an obscure colour, except on my machines, because this is the base colour for Russell's Winder theme. No. So here's the actual creation of the scene, connecting the root node into it and asking for the scene to have a given size. So that's the default size we're going to get in this particular scene. And within that scene, we've got this text which is going to be at position 1030. Would you have known that just by reading that quickly? No, it's not really. We're not familiar with that. This is one of the reasons people like Single or one of the other, Glade or Q2 Design, because writing this stuff is not really proper programming.
What's the act override? That's
This is saying that Hello World extends application. In application, there is a start method. So in the Hello World subclass of application, we're going to have a start method that must override the start method in application. And if it doesn't, because it's the wrong signature, then the compiler will reject. So this is an annotation on this method.
We used to use the word extend.
Well, extends there.
Again.
You'll have to take that one out and JavaFX. I have no idea. Override seems fine for me.
The reason for it is it would be perfectly legal without that, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
But it needs a hint to the compiler that says, if I made a mistake and missed off the final, or I'm not sure if that would make a difference or not.
The final there is just me. I happen to like single assignment.
Right.
Java supports single assignment.
Okay, so if I made a mistake and wrote public int start or something.
Yeah, it's the public void start stage.
Yeah.
That gives you the signature.
Yeah.
And you can have as many starts as you want here, because overloading is perfectly valid in Java. And this is saying this particular start must override the start inherited from application.
I've got the signature wrong, I get compiled.
Yeah.
Whereas if I hadn't got the override, even that program would work, and I'd be very puzzled. And once I had a student who came to me and asked me a question, and when I told him that that was what he'd done, he said, "Oh, I've been trying to figure that out for a week." And it was basically an overload thing. So that's why.
So I'm a great fan of Fine, as you can see. Fine is used far too little in Java. Far too few programs actually know about Fine in Java. Just do it. It's my homage, if you like, to safe programming in Java with its single assignment. But anyway, it does clutter things up a little bit, I have to admit, but I'm not going to apologise for that. Is there anything else of interest there? Not really. We're going to run it in just to prove it has worked.
Just a sort of bit of a low-level question. Is this stuff implemented on top of AWT or like
Swing is, yes.
Swing is?
JavaFX is not.
Oh, okay, so that might mean, so what's it using now? It's not actual machine level. I mean,
It's writing directly to framework and stuff.
right, so it's been given a, yeah, it's too technical maybe, but I'm just
The,
curious.
the code that does all this will be into the OpenJDK phase.
Right.
There's one or two licensing issues that Oracle are trying to sort out. JavaFX 1 is encumbered.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of proprietary stuff in there. And neither Sun nor Oracle were at the time interested in releasing it. JavaFX 2 is still slightly encumbered, but Oracle are negotiating to get that unencumbered. So a whole lot can get into the OpenJDK repository. So JavaFX will be completely as is boss.
Yeah, yeah. And is it, I mean, like this argument about the Eclipse widgets versus the Java widgets, and you know, Eclipse runs its own widgets, which look the same on every platform.
Yeah, I mentioned SWT.
Yeah, you mentioned that. There's something in it. So is it like that, or is it's trying to copy the platform?
It's completely separate, completely.
It's completely independent. So JavaFX on any platform will look exactly like JavaFX. It won't look like Windows. It won't look like that.
You can skim
Yeah.
these things because, as I'll show later, JavaFX has full CSS.
Yeah.
So your scene graph, if you're doing this full-on MVC style, your scene graph will just be the node tree with the content, and then you'll skin it with a CSS file at runtime. So the entire look and feel is programmable separately from the actual scene.
It's very, very tricky to get that right down to all the subtleties in the versus.
Yeah, which is why CSS folks get paid to do it. So can be looked at. But yeah, JavaFX is full CSS skin. So it looks like what you want it to look like, not what it might have looked like years ago. I've been horrified by this, yeah.
Excellent. What have you got to the JavaFX?
Cool. This is what we want to know. Yes.
Right. I mean, it's an imperative way of doing what that is declarative.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is actually declarative in some sense.
Yes.
It is just a sequence, and I'm guaranteeing that these things are final.
And you're going to tell me the ordering is critical.
The ordering is critical, because you actually have to define this before you actually create it. You could take this out and do a set later. It just gets worse.
It does seem ultimately like you step back into the past and you go backwards in time.
But a lot of people are saying this is the way of implementing user interface. And as I said, if Steve sees this,
I mean, that's
if Steve Chin is going around the world, saying, yeah, do this is good stuff.
That's machine code. You just don't want to like machine code.
Java is machine code. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sad. There's no Java. I like Java. I just didn't like the tool chain that goes with it, which is a problem. And so we decided, yeah, oh, really good. Oh, it looks horrible from there. It's a tiny little one. I don't like it too much. You can see what the change. You get it. It's when, if you look at the first slide, it had a TM on. Duke was original trademark of Sun, and Sun kept unto itself all forms of usage, and then they released it. If you want to use it, enter the nice cookies that we've got here. Because folks are not that familiar with Groovy, I'll do a minute tutorial walkthrough of Groovy. But to the script, so there's this bunch, reprobates. Okay, initially it was just those bunch of reprobates. I have to admit, I should separate myself a bit from this. The Jim Clark, who's currently working with Oracle, Dean I've not forgotten who did this. Dirk Sherman and Andrew Van Raven were Canada in Switzerland. And they just said, JavaFX 2, no JavaFX script.
Everything's okay.
Let's read up and read internals and the deep internals of the JavaFX stuff. You should be things you're not supposed to know about.
Well, I'm not using it. I'm not using this anymore.
That's good. And so we looked down into it after a while.
So what's the camera plotting?
That's about 7 years. And come up with GroovyFX.
Wait a second.
Now, this is exactly the same effect as the previous job. Design. I want to get rid of that line, but sadly I can't, because I don't know the RGB number in this case. So if you find out the RGB number, you should rid of that one as well. So what are we saying here? Well, import static, you know what those do. From some class somewhere, function. That's great. So we've now got this thing. It does all the hard work for us. It's done. So when we start, stage, right, don't mention staging.